It's that time again.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Welcome to the Courtside Podcast. I'm your host, Wayno, and with me, the People's Champ, Vinrok. Vince, welcome back to the show.
Wayno, good to be back. Talking Lakers, talking championship, baby. Talking championships.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about winning, you talk about excellence, you talk about gold. We're obviously talking about our other co-host, Sydney's second richest man, Stu Benson. Gentlemen, how are we? How are we all?
Just living the dream, mate.
Living the dream.
We're vaccinated. We're locked down. It's great.
That's it. We are the vaccinated podcast.
We do.
And one man beat. Oh, actually, two of us beat the vaccination. Wayne succumbed to it once again, like he succumbs to every fucking disease in the world.
I'll take my 1 day of sickness, considering I dodged it in New York, so it's fine.
That's true. That's true. It's good. You make a good point.
We'll have one a year. Come on. That was it. That's it.
I thought for sure you were going to catch it over there.
Being there and watching the New York City shut down in front of us was like quite startling. It was quite a step back.
And we've never suggested that you brought it over here. So let's just be really clear with all the listeners. There's no suggestion whatsoever that Wayne Hunt was the first case. Patient
right.
zero. No inference of the fact that Wayne Hunt brought it here.
And we've never seen Stu and Batman in the same room together either.
But we have the same butler.
And funnily enough, people have never seen me and Ron Jeremy in the same room.
Stunt cock, yeah.
Well, gents, lots of movement this last couple of weeks with the trade deadline being lifted and the NBA draft taking place. So we're going to jump in talking about a few teams, some moves that have been made. We're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to do this alphabetically. And let's talk about those Atlanta Hawks. Obviously, with Atlanta, they bring in Gorgie Dieng. Oh, Gorgie. Lou Williams re-signs for a year. Trae Young hits his max deal, contract extension. And they finally sorted out with John Collins, gets his 5-year deal finally. Thoughts?
Solid signings. John Collins, I'm a massive fan of John Collins. Really happy he's returned to have another tilt, getting into the finals. But I think the rest of the signings are pretty solid. Thompson's got that championship experience. Gorgie Dieng, even though you sort of half chuckled, half scoffed.
He was good at this. I liked him.
He's solid, man. He can shoot the three as well, which I don't really like big men doing. But he's a good shot blocker. He rebounds a bit, scores a bit. First word that came into my head was solid. I like it.
Yep, I co-sign all of that. You got the feeling watching them in the playoffs that they'd finally come into their own and they'd found an identity and things were working and firing. And let's be honest, they were probably an unlucky Trae Young heel on a referee's foot away from legitimately giving the Bucks a lot more problems than they did. They needed to run it back, and they've done that. I like the moves.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I'm not going to hold back next season with these guys with these massive contracts.
Do they know?
I mean, they've got my memo, I'm sure. Okay, angry D, NBA superstar, angry complaint, forewarning. No, like, it's that thing. Like, if you're going to be the man, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. If you're getting that payday, there's a couple of guys in the league who got it. If you're getting that payday, I mean, you got to take the criticism, with the praise as well. So next year, look out, I'm on the warpath.
I think Trae Young welcomes the pressure. I think he's that type of guy. I think he's that type of player.
Well, we really saw it in that New York series. like his character. I mean, I know Stu's been a massive fan of Trey since he came into the league. So, but I thought that series really, I don't know, kind of really just showed his stones, right?
Oh, he does not. He legitimately does not think there is a better player in the league than him, and I love that.
Do you think there'll be more moves to be made with Atlanta, or do you think it's a bit more of just solidifying what they already have and building from that?
I think you're always looking when you're that close to a title to see where you can improve. But they seem pretty set at the moment. I mean, let's get some games in them and see how they start off.
Yeah, I can't just see them really. When you look at them across the board and you look at their positions and where they've got gaps or holes, they fill out a roster pretty bloody well in terms of depth. And again, you've got to remember, I mean, Coach Nate, I mean, he only came on board, the last third or so of the season. So they've got an opportunity to really come together off the back of a really, what I would call a very successful season. So, yeah, you're right, though. I mean, there's a lot of pressure with that money, but I don't think you're looking at dudes who don't welcome it. And that's both, that's both Trey and Collins.
I had my I told you so stick out, ready to defend Lloyd, but mates, I mean, what can you say, right? Maybe, not that I think that Lloyd was a bad coach or anything like that, but,
No, he was.
A lot to be said for, I suppose, the pedigree of Nate McMillan as well. Like, he's been there, done that coach as well, so, yeah.
No, Lloyd was pretty bad.
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
I don't think he was that bad.
Well, whatever he was, he lost the players.
He did lose the players.
He had the same talent as Nate, and they fired him, and Nate came in and coached it properly.
Okay. Well, let's move along to the Boston Celtics, guys. Handful of moves. We've spoken last couple of shows about Danny Ainge suddenly retiring, Brad Stevens taking the helm as GM. Obviously, Vince, I think you touched on maybe last week about, clearly it wasn't Stevens that wanted Horford gone because they brought him back. Enes Kanter comes back on a one-year deal. They're bringing in Chris Dunn at the point guard. Whether he'll start or not is yet to be seen. And they make a move with the Mavericks for Josh Richardson, which I really, really like that move. And they keep, Jason Tatum and Jalen Green together. So thoughts on Boston and where they're at right now?
Did they keep Jalen Brown? Just want to know.
Jalen Brown.
Thank you, Stu, because I missed that one. What did he say?
Jalen Green.
Easily
using
done.
his colours.
It's the vaccine. It's the microchip. Now, look, for me, all hinges on Tatum and nearly said Brown. As they go, so go the Celtics. I mean, it all starts and finishes with them. I think Marcus Smart always solid on D. Kanter's good. Horford's going to help. But interesting to see that's two players now that Danny Ainge got rid of, that Stevens has brought back. So I just wonder how dysfunctional they really were, those two, to working together, Ainge and Stevens. They must have disagreed a lot.
Mate, there's even talk of them bringing back, I've heard the names Avery Bradley thrown around. I've heard the name, I think Stu mentioned it last time, Isaiah Thomas may be making a return.
Yep.
Yeah, the Thomas talk has sort of quietened down a bit. But just to touch on Josh Richardson, if they can get the Josh Richardson that was in Miami and balling and shooting well, because he has not shot well for the last few seasons.
I thought he played well in Philly, though. I thought he had pretty decent.
He couldn't shoot in Philly, not from the outside anyway. But the good part is Udoka was in Philly when Richardson was there. So
yeah,
now coaching Boston. So hopefully we'll see a return to form, because I like the kid.
I love everybody that they brought back. I think a clear indication that, Brad wanted some of his men back. I have heard, unfortunately, I was a big IT in Boston fan and was hoping that he was going to come back. He tweeted a couple of hours ago something cryptic. He's been tweeting cryptic little one-liners, and he tweeted ocean views. And a lot of people are saying that they think he might be, they're speculating, does that mean Miami? Does that mean the Lakers? Does that mean the Clippers? Where's he gone? But it does not sound like a Bostonian-related tweet, which is a bit of a shame.
It might be the Perth Wildcats.
It could very well be, or the Sydney Kings. So.
Yes, let's hope.
But I like the moves. You know, we're all. You know, I'm a massive Cantor fan. I'm glad that that they haven't gone shopping with Brown and Tatum. They've got a good young nucleus. I think that let's see what they do with a new coach and a new set of eyes looking over the offense. Clearly, Brad knew it was time to step away, and he's hired really, really well. So I don't know how to grade it. It's definitely like a B or a B plus. Like it's a good off season, and they retain their core. So anytime you do that, you've got to be happy with what you're looking at.
I just feel like they've made enough moves to move forward into the season. I like their bigs that they have with Cantor, Williams, and is it Williamson? Williams.
Robert Williams,
isn't it?
Yeah. And obviously Horford. Like that's a nice trio to rotate through and play at the same time, no matter what combo you're really using it.
Yeah.
I think just quietly, I feel like that if they do split those boys up, Brown and Tatum, I think they're going to make a run at Lillard.
I'm hearing Bradley Beal.
I keep hearing Beal, and I was going to jump in then. But Beal comes up a lot.
I just feel like there's more of a chance, I think, to get Lillard. And I mean, I just feel like the Richardson trade doesn't make sense if your intention is to bring in Beal.
It does if you want to use him as a trade piece.
That's exactly right.
Because he's making like $11 million.
Yeah.
True.
Boston are really confident they can get Beal without giving up Tatum or Brown.
Well, Tatum's not going anywhere. If one of them goes, Brown.
But they're confident they can keep the both of them and still get Beal. How they can think they can swing that, I do not know. But
I'll tell you what, though, if they did, Brown would go berserk in Washington. I'm telling you, you give that kid the keys to a team. Oh my god, it'd be like Brandon Ingram. It'd be nuts.
Yeah.
I'm right with you.
I really like Chris Dunn and have liked him for a long time. So even since he was drafted to Minnesota. We've spoken on the show before about his mysterious run in Chicago. He had a great couple of months there, then, smashed his face and was never the same. So I'm hoping he can turn back the clock. He's a defensive guard, which is going to be great in, Stevens, or not Stevens' system anymore. But I just don't know if he's their starting point guard moving forward. So I think as far as Stevens goes, I like what he's done so far. I like the roster he's got, but I still think there's probably moves to be made still.
Yeah, definitely gearing up for a big. Well, they're hoping to get a big trade. You're right, it could be Lillard, and I'm probably leaning towards Beal more. So I think that's just what they're waiting for. Because no doubt Stevens wants to make a splash.
Oh, 100%. Stevens wants to make some GM moves, so there's no doubt about that. But if you're a Boston fan on the sideline, you've had a good off season so far.
Yeah. Well, talking about a good off season, let's talk about the dark horse in the NBA, the Brooklyn Nets. Let's talk about them. They bring back Blake Griffin for 1 year.
Cheap.
Patty Mills, 2-year deal. Goodness, where is he going to get his shots? They bring in James Johnson, your boy Vince.
Yep.
And just throwing this out there, but a little bit of speculation, there is word of maybe Lamarcus Aldridge return to the court. Whether that's back with Brooklyn, who knows? But that was his last team before he abruptly recorded his retirement. Some thoughts on the Brooklyn Nets, boys?
If Patty wasn't an Aussie, I would hate him so much right now. Can't believe he signed there. Patty's a great signing. Insurance for when Kyrie goes walkabout. Griffin, solid. Don't know how they got him that cheap. It was veteran minimum, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's making like 1.7 or something. It's bizarre.
Yeah, something weird there.
There's a promise. Something's going on.
Yeah. So look, they're a contender. I don't know what else I can say about them. I don't like them. I don't like Durant. I don't like Harden. I don't like Kyrie. So hopefully they don't make the finals.
It's a good off season, but they've got the same issue as most teams with these shortened seasons and these shortened off seasons and things like that is health and staying on the court together. We saw, very few instances of their trio together, and when they were together, they were very, very good. But they need consistency. They need court time. So I don't think it's a question of their off season acquisitions. As long as their core is their core, They're a Eastern Conference final contender just on paper alone and talent alone. But I guess I don't think the story is going to be their off season. It's going to be their actual season.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you guys nail on the head. I mean, I just don't get the Patty Mills signing there, to be honest with you. Like,
No.
they had a hard enough time. I mentioned it last show, like, when we touched on it, they had a hard enough time getting Joe Harris shots.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's no scrub from behind the arc. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like now you're bringing Patty Mills as well. Like, there's only one ball in this squad and you have some very ball-dominated players. I mean, look, I suppose it is going to come down to that squad gelling as a team and working out where the shots are coming from and who's getting those shots. If they can do that, they're contenders.
Yeah, look, I think they're going to love Patty. I think we might have even spoken about it off the recording when we were chatting after the podcast. Can't remember what we ended up getting into the show, but we all know that they are going to love Patty, and Steve Nash is going to love Patty, and I think they're going to love getting him going. I genuinely do, and you've got to remember that Kyrie does have good assist numbers. James Harden does have very good assist numbers. I think they're going to look for him. I think he will become an important part, but in saying that, as far as I'm concerned, Patty Mills should be at this stage of his career and has earned to be a starting point guard somewhere. So for him to go be a backup, look, good on him. He's chasing a chip, and that's ultimately what you want. But he's got one, so I find it a little bit weird.
Strange, isn't it?
I just find it weird. Like, he could, honestly, there are teams who need starting ones, and he would walk into it. And I would imagine probably for more money.
I've got a feeling they might make a run at Aaron Baines.
Oh, yeah, free agent. Raptors let him go, didn't they?
Yeah. Give DJ some help in the middle. Who knows? But
DJ doesn't even play anymore. He just got paid because of Durant. It's favour to Durant.
Yeah. And
that was one of the reasons why Durant signed there. It was a small reason, but it was one of them.
Oh, same as that's how they got Griffin as well on the cheap. Just great friends with DJ.
Yep.
Super friends.
Well, talk about crazy. Let's jump into the Charlotte Hornets for a minute. Man, they let some shooters go this offseason.
I know.
Random. They bring in Ish Smith. So, I mean, I like Ish Smith. Solid point guard. Yeah, man. And he tends to have like a big game every now and then. And then, of course, today they sign on a 2-year deal Kelly Oubre Jr.
Turning into a bit of a journeyman, didn't he? But they were pretty had a bit of a logjam at the guard position. So they had to let one of them go. It was always going to be Graham. Yeah. They're not getting rid of LaMelo, and then they're not getting rid of Scary Terry. But finally, Azella gone. Poor Katie Zella.
Easy. Such a high draft pick to let go.
But,
come on.
Pick 4, wasn't he?
He's serviceable.
Yeah, he did.
He's solid. He's solid. But Kupchak doing a pretty good job so far. There's some talent there in Charlotte. If they can get it all together.
Yeah, they brought in 3 rookies this year as well. So, I mean, definitely they're flipping stuff and bringing in more picks. They got a pick from I think it was the Pelicans as well. So interesting to see where they go from here, though.
They're just going to be fucking fast and up tempo. It's going to be like watching some 90s run and gun bloody, I don't know, Golden State Warriors. They are just going to fucking run all season. That's what I reckon.
I think. Sorry.
Go ahead. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I think LaMelo is going to burn this year. I think he's just going to be so good.
I just think it's going to be scary when you got Bridges, Oubre, and Melo running the floor hard, and then if you need to slow it up, you can bring in Gordon. Like, they're going to be, I don't know, like, do you feel like they'll be pushing playoffs?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
It's a failure of a season if they don't. 100%.
And James Borrego he's just growing as a coach. Like, he's grown into the role.
Yeah.
So he did a really good job last year. So, yeah, I think they can make the playoffs, no doubt. Who's their starting centre now that Zella's gone?
They'd be Bismarck, wouldn't they?
Yeah, there you go. Got Bismarck, yep.
Yeah.
Just
and you know what? Again, I know that he and Melo had a little bit of a funny thing at the start of the season when they sort of eyeballed each other at the end of the game when he was jacking up shots when they'd already won by 20 or something like that. But they get along. Like, they really love Biz. Like, they really do. Like, I don't think Biz is going anywhere. Like, they genuinely, and he's the perfect 5 for that team.
Yeah. Springy. Yeah, light, can run the court.
Doesn't need the ball, but can just honestly, he's just a perfect fastball 5.
Yep. Rebounds, block shots. That's what you need on that team.
Yeah, I like him. I like the off-season, and I like that we benefited from it as the Lakers.
Well, a team that certainly made a bit of a turnaround from mid last year, made some major moves and looked to shake things up, just missed out still the playoff run. But Chicago Bulls, boys, making some serious moves. They, on paper, they look dangerous. I must admit, myself personally, I did think that Levine was gone. I thought they were going to undercut him with his max deal and then piss him off and he'd go somewhere else. But they managed to keep him. They managed to bring in DeMar DeRozan on a 3-year deal. A sign and trade. This is possibly the worst possible thing that could have happened to New Orleans. But it's all their own fault. We'll get into that later. But Bulls bring in Lonzo Ball. And, of course, will he wear number 23? I don't know. But Caruso on a 4-year deal. The GOAT is in the building. Boys, let's talk.
First of all, I love the moves they've done, and I'm going to miss Alex Caruso. Love the kid, fellow countryman from the motherland. They're definitely going to, I reckon they're, actually, first, before I go on, Lonzo Ball, let me tell you, Chicago fans, you have got a beauty. You know I've got shares in Lonzo Ball from day dot. This kid, he's improved every year. He works his ass off in the off-season to get better. I think he shot 38 from 3 last season. He's fixed his jump shot, plays defense. He's no trouble off the court. He's no trouble on the court. He makes players around him better, and he's finally going to have some stability. He's going to have Billy Donovan's there, who's going to coach him really well. They're going to be exciting on the break. And I think they're really going to push for the playoffs. I just love the look of this team. I don't know about you guys, but Laurie Markkinen, look for him to be moved in a sign and trade.
Yeah, I think he is gone.
Yeah, don't forget Big Vooch too. He's there.
Yeah, I didn't realize Vooch and him and DeRozan were college teammates.
Didn't know that either.
Yeah,
I did.
Very convincing.
What do you guys reckon, playoffs for those guys?
Shit, yeah.
If they put together, for sure.
100%.
I'm telling you, man, Lonzo's going to burn. He's going to burn.
Guys, and in all this, even if all those factors are thought of against another team, you've still got to have enough to cover Kobe White.
That's 100%. People aren't mentioning and forgetting, I think. It's like they're sleeping on Kobe White.
Dude, the fact that he's still there with these moves, that is seriously, like, if I was the Spurs, that's who I'm trading for DeRozan.
Dude, the fact that they've still got him if they wanted to move and Markkinen to play with, it's really, really good management. And that's not something we could have said about the Chicago Bulls, like, very much in the last 20 years.
No. Yeah.
But how do you not ask for Kobe White in the Lonzo deal?
How the hell is he not a Pelican?
Yeah, exactly right.
We'll get into it a bit later, but I've got some serious concerns about Dave Griffin.
I've been saying.
I think we might have another Joe Dumars on our hands here. I think he fluked a title
In Cleveland?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the X Factor's fucking LeBron. That's why.
Shut up.
Yeah. Hang on. Who did he have?
I can tell you one thing. I did read today that Zach LaVine, his last 4-game win streak was in UCLA before the Olympics.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
Yeah, I think that's going to change in Chicago next season. Just saying.
Yeah, I think so too.
Isn't that mind-blowing? Like,
that's crazy. Gee, poor blood. Well, yeah, wow. Far out.
Crazy.
But if he wins the gold medal, that'll be a 4-game winning streak, won't it?
Maybe that's it then. Maybe
that'll be it. But look, I'd be happy to. I think we'll be talking a bit about the Bulls this season in the podcast. I mean, we've got the president of the Lonzo Ball fan club in Vince, and I'll be the co-president. And everything that you said about him, I co-sign. I think I've been very, very clear in my affection for Mr. Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
Over the years, huge fan, And I just think he's just going to benefit so much from Lonzo and vice versa. And then you've got, who is, it's hard to say, it's weird saying it, but a veteran in DeRozan coming in. And they're not going to, I don't know, he's just going to be able to, with less expectation, less pressure, just do what he wants to do. And I just think they're going to be fantastic.
Well, on the other end of that, let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, guys. Sorry.
This will be a quick combo.
Easy. I mean,
so they've been traded to the G League, is that right?
Yeah. I mean, just even to Seattle. God, they're only there because of LeBron. Jesus. Anyway,
Seattle. Seattle
you can't move them.
No, we can't. We couldn't do that to Mark Price and Craig Ely. Look, Jared Allen signed his 5-year extension. Glad that he got paid. They got the number 3 pick, took Evan Mobley. Interesting pick for them guys. I'm sure he'll pan out well though.
Great pick, and a good front court.
Yeah. They make a move for Ricky Rubio, pull him from Minnesota. Someone please save Ricky. Come on, that's not fair.
Something's going on.
Me and Rob tried to sign him. We tried.
And Verge still there? Remember, towards last year they signed him on a couple of 10 days.
No, he's not there at the moment.
What was the story with that?
Bit of nostalgia,
they couldn't get Ilgauskas.
Not sure Kobe Altman's going to have a job very soon.
It's just we keep hearing Sexton's name come up in trades. Like, do not trade that kid. Do not trade him.
They've got a decision to make though. They've got Garland and Sexton. You can't play both of them at the same time.
Why did they draft Garland?
I have no idea. That's what I'm saying. Kobe Altman. Time clock's ticking. Tick tock.
I just feel like there's some truth to their distaste with Sexton from his draft and the reports of the players not thinking.
There has to be the whole Kevin Love not throwing the ball in thing. That says
okay. Just hang on a second. Here we go again.
Hey, we love him.
Oh, no,
young bloke time.
We are on board with Sexton, Vince. Don't take it any other way. We're just.
You don't let me finish. I was actually having to go at you guys, but there's a lot of people online. I'll have a go at you, Wayne, because you're they're just laying into this kid, mate. The guy's in his second year, and he averaged 24 a game, and he's 22 years old. He's gonna make mistakes.
Yeah,
he's immature. You don't want him. He's another one I'll gladly take. Because in another 2 or 3 years, when he matures a bit, absolute beast. Cleveland, they deserve everything they get at the minute because they make dumb decisions and they don't stick it out with anything. Any player they get.
They don't need 3 starting point guards. And
they don't.
They've got.
And I reckon you're right. I think it's got to be a pit stop. Trade deadline gone. Sexton, trading him, that will bite them in the arse.
See, I think
Rubio's not going to get Rubio's not going to leave Tokyo. He's just going to stay there. I wouldn't report to training camp.
No on holidays in Cleveland.
But I think Mobley can play next to Jared Allen because Mobley can put it on the floor. He can shoot.
That's some length
pass. Yeah. I'm telling you that the big man, it's coming back. The big man's coming back. I didn't realise he was Eric Mobley's son, who sadly passed away, Eric Mobley. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah, I did hear that. I wasn't about it until you brought it back up, but yeah.
Yeah, bit of a shame.
Cleveland. Anyway, let's get away from Cleveland.
Yeah, see you, Cleveland.
The Dallas Mavericks, guys. Look, doing what they should be doing and absolutely surrounding Luka with shooters. Tim Hardaway signs another 4-year deal. Man, he must have a great agent. Sterling Brown from...
Dude, he plays well. Why do you hang it on him? He plays well.
I'm just saying, he gets some big deals, man. That's all.
But he plays well.
Him and Nicholas Batum, man, I want their agent.
Nick Batum, I wouldn't pay $1.50 for. Tim Hardaway, yes.
Tim Hardaway Jr. on a 4-year deal. Sterling Brown from Houston. They bring in Reggie Bullock on a 3-year deal from New York.
Talk about a good agent.
Oh, yeah.
Someone call the cops because there's a robbery in Dallas. Reggie Bullock just stole $30 million from Mark Cuban.
Damn.
I would pay him not to play for us.
You played all right, New York, but you played all right.
He's a shooter who can't shoot. He's got this reputation as a great shooter. I'm yet to see it.
Look, we've talked pretty extensively about Dallas and what's gone on, and I suppose the greatness of Luka. And they also bring back Willie Cauley-Stein, so he's back with the team. We've spoken about the need for Porzingis to put some coffee in his cement in the morning, because real men the other way. No, we talked about him, having to harden up a bit and be demanding of the ball. And I mean, obviously, it does feel like a bit of Harden 2.0 with Luka. The thing is, right, so I'm wondering, is Luka just showing his age? Like he's there's a lot of hero ball going on in Dallas right now, and even on the international stage. I mean, it's hard to complain when it's going in as well.
Oh, dude, if he doesn't, what's their record?
But he's super fucking whingy as well. Like, he even had to go to the officials in that game against France the other night.
Yeah.
And I was like, did you need to? Like,
yeah.
It was what it was. You were hurt. You weren't shooting.
Yeah. Yep.
He looks to his left. He sees Tim Hardaway. He's like, yeah, cool. Looks to his right. He's like, can't throw it to him. Can't throw it to him. You're always injured. You 7'3" donkey, and I can't throw it to you.
Oh, look, I know. I agree with that sentiment, because it's like, my thing has always been with these young guys. It's like, and we're going to speak on Detroit in a minute too. And it's
another short combo.
When you have talent, don't burn them out. Get them the help.
You're right. And I think Cuban knows this. If he and whoever the general manager is now don't get this right in the next few years, Luka's gone.
How old is he?
Oh, 22. Yeah, he's about 22, I think.
Yeah, 21, 22, yeah.
Here's the scary thing, right? Imagine Luka when he gets his man body. Do you know what I mean? When he starts eating right, when he starts lifting, like when he's getting his man strength. Like, he hasn't got that right now. He's just... This to me, it just feels like it's just superior talent, obviously, but, on the back end of talent and obviously the experience from playing international ball. But I'm just like, man, this kid is only going to get better.
Oh, 100% he's only going to get better. And I'd be very worried if I was a Dallas fan. I would also pay his mum $5 million just to come to the game, because she's pretty good.
About Luka's mum. About Dallas.
I've got plenty. Turn the recording off now. So I think I've seen enough of the Luka, Porzingis and this offense. Look, they're going to have a new coach, so I think they're going to give it another crack and see what happens. But I've personally seen enough of it that I just don't think this is the combo. And I do think that now that he's shown that he's healthy and played a fair chunk of a season, that Porzingis' trade value has lifted somewhat for the chump change that they got him for from the Knicks. And I think I'd be looking to flip him personally. I just don't see that as a championship caliber combo. I don't think he's the Batman or the Robin, to Luka's Batman. So, I don't know, but they're going to have new coach, new offense, new systems. They're going to have to at least get themselves to All-Star break before they make a decision. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't really rate the offseason at the moment unless there's more moves to be made. It's a bit of a I don't know, it's a bit predictable. I thought they were going to bring back Cauley-Stein. I thought they were going to bring back Hardaway. They haven't really set the world on fire with anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like there's just going to be a lot of what we saw this year. Luka dribbling around, shooters try and get open, and if he gets in trouble, he'll throw it out. That's actually not, that's doing him a bit of a disservice. He doesn't just dribble around and get in trouble. Like, he tries to get the guys good shots, but there's just a lot of standing around.
Not that I thought it was a chance, but I really did like the prospect of some mid-courty sort of like a wing / a small forward coming on board, and then they were throwing around Kawhi. Kawhi's unhappy with Paul George, and Kawhi's gone, and I actually thought that would be absolutely perfect, and also personality-wise, someone who I don't think would mind playing second fiddle to Luka if they were winning. That's the sort of player they need, but again, I don't know who else fits that mold.
Interesting to see what. It will be interesting to see where Dallas is at the end of next season.
There is rumours that couple of reporters have said that they're probably going to get Goran Dragic.
In Toronto.
But, I'm not sure how that's going to fit with him. I mean, he's a ball handler. He's a point guard.
They've played together before, national squads and stuff. So
yeah, they can run plays in Slovenian.
I'm pretty sure there's a deal that was recently made with this team, and maybe I've missed it, but we're going to talk Denver Nuggets. A little bit quiet. They bring back Austin Rivers on a 1-year deal, and Jeff Green signs a 2-year deal. Was there something else happened with Denver?
Did Millsap leave?
He's looking to leave, yeah. He's eyeing off...
I had Minnesota with Millsap, potentially.
It was a contender. Oh, I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I heard Miami, but I don't know where I read it.
Could have been Miami, yeah.
I don't know if they've brought back anybody else or what else they've done. I can't think of anything.
No, Wayne was right. Just Jeff Green, Austin Rivers. Unfortunately, Jamal Murray, he's probably going to miss most of the year with that knee. So
he'll miss about half the season, right?
Yeah. So let's hope Michael Porter Jr. takes another step up. Actually, commits on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You nailed it. Offensively, he can be totally unstoppable, out of reach.
Yeah. You still want him to grow more offensively, but give him a bit more scoring. But you can't have. Always said it. You can't have all that fun on one end and not have the responsibility on the other.
Exactly. Teams were literally going at it. They just were, and they knew that he was going to be a late cover because he's a little bit lazy on D, and so he was keeping teams in games. Unfortunately, as much as he was keeping Denver in games, he was keeping other teams in games. So yeah, he's got to step it up, and he's got all the tools.
Not much to cover really on Denver. Really, I mean, I think they'll have a bit of a similar season. It'll be interesting to see how the Joker turns up this year, and just I suppose the bits and pieces around him. But
do you reckon one day he'll come into a season just really fit?
No,
fair enough.
I thought he got a bit of a bad rap this season. This is the best he's ever looked from game 1 through to game 70, whatever.
Yeah, it took him a quarter of a season to get into that shape.
No, not this season.
He came in flat, yeah.
No, not this season. You're thinking of last season. Stop it.
Big man,
when you called him man tits.
Fucking man titties. Come on.
And you posted that picture of him in where's he from? Serbia?
Yeah.
And he just had this T-shirt on. It was just did you no favours. It's like, my God, man. This is the MVP.
Let's jump from Denver. We'll no doubt talk about them a bit later on in the year. Excuse me. The Detroit Pistons guys. So we did speak briefly on them. They bring in Corey Joseph, no real surprise, on a 3-year deal. It's pretty tight with the coach, so expected that. They bring in Dirk 2.0, Kelly Olynyk on a 3-year deal. Thought you love that. Trey Lyles from the Spurs on a 3-year deal. So that's not too bad either. And, of course, they get the number 1 pick in this year's draft. And Cade Cunningham, who I've been a bit on the fence about him as the number 1 pick, but I really like the kid now. Just listen to him talk and listen to his story. Yeah, I think he could be potentially pretty special.
Don't know much about him. Haven't seen a lot of him. Hopefully, for Detroit's sake, he turns out to be a ripper. The other moves, Corey Joseph, Kelly Olynyk, solid, can give you some really good minutes. Dirk Nowitzki, he is not.
Hey, I'll tell you what, he almost played the bloody Houston Rockets out of the number 1 draft pick. He played that bloody good.
True. He had a career year. But if you're a Pistons fan, you're looking at this team and you're going, Cunningham, Jeremy Grant, not a bad start.
But let's just wind the clock back a little bit because obviously there's a lot of Detroit have sucked for a minute, right? Like since their glory day, like they really have. But let's just look back on last year because remember after the Blake move, remember this Detroit team? There's some of these young guys on this squad were catching teams.
Yeah.
And now you're adding more talent to that pool. I think my thing with Detroit is you've got the number 1 pick in Cade Cunningham. Don't fuck this up.
Yeah, I think they're destined for the lottery again.
I mean, I think that's expected almost, But I mean, that's if
sorry, say again.
If you can just get that next building block, I think they're in a good spot.
Well, they have to because no one signs there. Well,
yeah.
The other guys that did were Billups. I think they got Ben Wallace in a trade. So the draft's the way they're going to have to go.
I mean, I really liked that Sadiq Bey. I thought he played really
he's okay.
Gone.
Yeah, he was really good. Even who's the dude who came across from, I think, OKC? Diallo. Like he wasn't too bad either. I mean, they've got some nice young pieces. I mean,
I like what they've got. Look, they've still got Josh Jackson.
Still got Josh Jackson. Yep.
Yay.
They bring in. Is Plumlee still there?
No, Plumlee got shipped out.
Oh no, yeah, that was today or yesterday, wasn't it?
It's a couple of days ago.
Did you go to Portland? You go to Portland?
I think he did.
Yeah, I think you're. Oh, geez, I can't remember. No, he didn't go to Portland. Zeller went to Portland, right?
Which Plumlee is he?
Mason.
You sure it's Mason?
Yeah, they had Mason. Yeah, the really tall white one.
Yeah. Played in
he's gone to the Hornets.
Hornets, okay, right.
So they swapped a Zeller for a Plumlee. Of course they did.
That makes perfect sense. I also like that Isaiah Stewart guy.
Yeah.
A bit of a smaller center. He's really ripped. He's like 6'8" or something, but he plays center and he's just a little bit.
He's like an absolute monster.
He's huge. He's a unit, but he just rebounds. You would like him, Vince. You would actually really like him.
He got into it with somebody at the end of last season. Oh, he got into it with Blake when Blake came back and played with Brooklyn. He and Blake got into it.
Yeah.
And he did not give an inch.
No. To be honest, I thought he's bigger than Blake. Like.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Any final thoughts on Detroit?
No.
That's what I wanted to hear.
I don't think Jeremy Grant should have a big season.
I think he just needs to be consistent next year.
I thought he was pretty consistent.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he just needs to back up what he did last season.
Oh, okay. We'll just say that next time.
Okay. Sorry. Talking about the Golden State Warriors.
Another short combo.
Jesus, put me in my place, Vince. Look, they re-signed Steph Curry to a 4-year extension. No surprise there. I could not see Steph Curry go anywhere else over the next few years. I think he'll retire a Warrior. They bring in an interesting piece with Otto Porter Jr. from Orlando on a 1-year deal. Who did they bring from? Went from Sacramento to Miami. Bajinko, is it?
No, Bielitsa.
Oh, Bielitsa?
Yeah.
Hang on. Say that again.
No.
Bajinko, I think he said.
I was throwing out the lifeline. Come on. I was trying to hide that I knew that one. Give me a
I like Bielitsa. He knows what he is. He's just a shooter. I like him.
It's
Otto Porter Jr. is just going to keep the doctors busy and the physio busy.
It's such a shame. I thought he was going to be so good.
I reckon, look, honestly, the Warriors, it's over. It's over. The run's over.
I don't think so.
Klay Thompson, he's got smarts. He's got high IQ. But coming off an Achilles and then a knee and then an Achilles.
Question the heart of a champion, Vince.
What did they get for? Did Eric Pascal just walk, or did he get signed and traded?
Traded for, it was a pick, pretty sure.
Okay.
Wasn't it like cash considerations?
Yeah.
He'll flourish.
Didn't he go to Utah with his boy Mitchell?
Sure, he's good mates with Mitchell. Yeah, he'll flourish.
Look, I don't know anything about their pick. I think it's Kuminga.
Questions on Kuminga?
So they draft him obviously with pick 7. There's obviously a lot of talk and a lot of chatter going around the league with potentially maybe an Iguodala rejoining the team, a Ben Simmons situation that has been floated out there. We'll probably get that a bit later, but I think Steph had an incredible season last year, and they've got a lot of pieces. They've got a system in place. I'm just not ready to rule them out yet. I'm not ready to. I mean, even if they can get Klay back at 80%, it's still pretty bloody good.
Run's over. It's over. It is over with a capital O. I mean, Warriors fans, you had your fun. Your legacy is you could shoot threes more than the championships because that's just what it is. Once Steph's gone, once Clay's gone, once Draymond's gone, it'll be years before you even contend again, because no one ever signs there, and good luck with it all.
If they truly think that they've got what it takes to make one more run, then basically with the length of Steph's contract, that's what they've got. So if they really want to retool quickly, they can't wait for Wiseman. They're going to have to flip it.
True. They're screwed. They're done.
Well, we might power through a few teams because not much has happened on their front, but we will touch on the Houston Rockets.
Hang on, you get into the H's and the L's. What are you talking about? What do you mean you're going to fly through some teams? What do you mean?
Well, there's a few teams that happen. Houston Rockets being one of them. What they do? They brought in Daniel Theis from the Bulls last year. I think he just re-signed with them. So he got his little
Tights.
That's the one. David Nwaba.
Oh, did he re-sign?
3-year deal with Houston.
Happy for him, man.
Yeah,
me too.
Loved him in Chicago. Loved him in LA. Sort of loved him in LA. But, yeah, great player. Great.
Why you sort of got to like him in LA?
Yeah, you know. And they also draft the number 2 pick, Jalen Green.
I've heard some people say Jalen Green's going to be an absolute beast. So if that's the case,
he would have been my number 1.
Yeah, I would have taken him. Yeah.
There you go.
There's something about him, man. You can tell. Sometimes you can just tell these kids have got it.
Yeah.
Like Anthony Edwards, like just sometimes you just know there's this little bit of cockiness. It's like what Jerry West said he saw with Kobe. He just fucking knew. And you see this kid, and I'm telling you, man, he's got it.
He was a Jackson 5 on draft day.
Yeah, he was pretty out there, man.
So good. Yeah, but not going to win a lot of games next season, and there's going to be a lot of frustration. But look, young team, they got time, keep building. These guys are going to be fun to watch anyway.
And I'm telling you, watch Michael Porter Jr.'s brother Kevin. Telling you, mate, he's a good one.
No,
if he can stay,
good.
Can keep his head right, can play.
We move to the Indiana Pacers. Not a great deal going on. TJ McConnell gets his 4-year extension, which is, I think, well-deserved. Torrey Craig gets a 2-year deal coming back from, where did he come from? Phoenix.
Oh, he left Phoenix.
Wow.
I think that's a big mistake for Phoenix, letting him go.
I do too.
That's Robert Sarver's tighter than Fisher's ass.
Didn't want to pay him and gave him to Chris Paul.
Torrey Craig is a glue guy.
Yeah.
You don't just get rid of guys like that, but go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, it sucked for them last year because they had a good squad and they just got hammered with injuries. They make the Karis LeVert trade and obviously lose him for the bulk of the season. So they're going to get him back. They're going to get Sabonis, who was playing at all-star level last year. So hopefully they just keep building on that. I think
they're having TJ Warren will be back.
TJ Warren will be back also. So they've got a lot to look forward to with the healthy squad. For me, over the past few years, the biggest, I suppose, problem or missing piece has always seemed to come down to the point guard. For the last few years, they just seem to have a point guard.
They've got Brogdon.
Yeah.
Dude,
Brogdon's pretty good.
It's unreal.
I just like it when they play him at the 2 a bit more, that's all.
Okay.
Dude, he's not a 2.
He just plays well or playing like off the ball, and just having that secondary ball handler. I mean, I know it's different with Warren back next season, so maybe it checks out there. But I just feel like over the last few years that it's just been a bit of a hole.
I'm glad that Dougie McBucket's got paid. He had a really good season for them last season.
Yeah, true.
Really good season for them, and I think a lot of people, he's been a bit of a not a joke around the league, but I think people just sort of scoff when they see him on rosters. But man, he gave them good minutes, and particularly at the end of the season when he really found his role in the team. Really happy for him to go get. I think he went and signed himself a 4-year deal somewhere, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Indiana's biggest problem last year was their coach.
100%.
100%. Rick Carlisle is going to get this team humming. I really rate Carlisle. So Indiana will be back, I think, next year with a pretty good record.
Yeah, I like that they've kept the core together. I like that Sabonis is there. I like that Bridges there. Miles, and I don't know. I'm glad that they didn't tinker it or blow it up, and I'm glad that they're giving Carlisle a chance at running that team the way he wants to. I think it's a solid off season for them, even though it's been very, very minuscule in terms of its movement. I think it's a very good off season for them.
Minimum moves, new head coach, new direction. Hopefully health plays into their hands and they'll be dangerous. They'll be, pushing high in the playoff spots if they can keep it together.
I think Sabonis, I think everything is going to run through him. I've just got this feeling with Carlisle that Sabonis is going to be his guy.
Much better position in Indiana than what he is in Dallas. So, yeah. As far as
he won a championship running everything through a power forward, and I think he's just going to do exactly the same with Sabonis, and I think it's going to be a really big season for them.
Fuck, Sabonis killed the Grizzlies last year. Jesus Christ,
he's unreal. He's unreal.
So good, man. Yeah. We move now to the LA Clippers.
All right, and let's move on to the LA Lakers.
Look, not a lot happening. They've got Nicholas Batum re-signed for, I think, a 2-year extension. So that happened. He's been playing international ball off to the Gold.
He's been playing good. Have you guys been watching the French?
Real well.
Nah.
The French team's great, man. They look so good.
They're a chance. I'm telling you, they are a chance at this gold medal.
Rudy has to play out of his mind, though. But go ahead.
Yeah, so not a bit of a question mark of what's happening with Kawhi. You just love this holding organisations at hostage every. It's a lot.
He is the MVP, isn't he?
He does not talk, does not communicate. He's waiting for all the cards to lay down before he decides where he's going. So that's that. I think Clippers, I think it's going to be much of muchness. They'll be a little bit crazy if they don't re-sign Richard Jackson. Didn't really found his second life there last year. But much of muchness. Some thoughts on the Clippers?
Make the playoffs, just no Kawhi. They'll just be making up numbers. Couldn't give a stuff who they sign. And can they just get their own stadium, please? Jesus.
I was just about to say.
It's taking so long. Sick of just
Clipper money, mate. Like Monopoly.
Stinking up the joint.
Twice as much to get together. Okay, let's move on from the LA Clippers and go straight to the Memphis Grizzlies, guys. Oh, wait. I jumped the team, didn't I? Well, while we're talking about the Grizz, not much happened. So, yeah.
You got Steve Adams.
We got Steven Adams.
Grizzly Adams.
We initiated the whole first trade, and then we haven't done anything since. I think we spoke a little bit off air last week, actually, about the Grizzlies and how no moves been made. And it's just steady as she goes. We've had a surplus of talent, so...
Oh, listen to him. Surplus of talent.
Like that word?
Listen. Hey. Wait your fucking turn.
I'm just getting it out of the way. All right, let's get into the LA Lakers. Wow, holy shit. You guys make me sick. It's going to be unbearable next year. But Jesus Christ, you know what? I got to tip the hat to Pelinka because I think this might be one of the best Laker rosters I've seen on paper. It's really impressive. I mean, of course,
Could you stop, please? Don't jinx us. You said this in 2012. I don't want you to say that shit anymore.
White and Nash and...
Nash
this is the guy when we got Nash. He's like, I think you guys will win 3 in a row.
I don't think I said that, but yeah.
You did.
Okay. Maybe I did. I love Nash. Look, I'll just run through the names. I'm going to let you two have your spiel. Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, Trevor Ariza, Malik Monk on a 1-year deal, Wayne Ellington returns, what a legendary name, Kent Bazemore, Kendrick Nunn on a 2-year deal, and you keep Talon Horton Tucker on a 3-year deal. Super impressive, guys. Boast away.
You didn't mention Russell Westbrook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Russell Westbrook.
Some former MVP of some leagues somewhere, Russell Westbrook. Sure.
I'll be quick because I just want to keep a lid on it. First of all, the age thing. Like, everyone's going on about the age. Yeah, there's a few players in their 30s. But Dwight Howard played for the Philadelphia 76ers last year. Didn't play a lot of minutes, but he was really good. Gave him like 8 and 8. That's all we want. We don't need him to come in and play 25, 30 minutes. Same with Wayne Ellington. He's not going to get a lot of minutes. I'm tipping Malik Monk will be our starting 2.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Shot 40% from 3, averaged 11 points, But I tell you, I think Westbrook is going to work just fine. I think he, AD, and LeBron got together at LeBron's house. They hashed it all out. Westbrook knows this is not going to be his team. But you know what? The one I'm really excited about is Kendrick Nunn. Because you get a point guard on the floor when Russell's off or LeBron's off that can handle the ball, score a bit, keep guys getting involved. I think Horton Tucker's going to take another step. Just on Melo, yes, 37 going on 38. But again, he's been a role player for the last 3 years. We're not asking him to be the Melo from New York. He's going to come and play 20 minutes, 25 tops.
Mate, yeah, if we get Portland Melo, how happy are we going to be?
Oh, 100%. All he's got to do is hit the shot. And we've got options to play small ball and go big. That's what we want. And there's a lot of talent on there that you can just, if players need a rest, we can rest them. Go for it, Benson.
I don't want to get too ahead of myself either. I kind of have a weird feeling that we're going to retain on a cheap and maybe a short deal Dennis Schroeder.
Before you go on, I listened to ESPN LA this morning. They were thinking the same thing until they signed Kendrick Perkins.
Kendrick Nunn.
Kendrick Nunn.
No.
Perkins is coming in around the point. So as soon as they signed Kendrick Nunn, they thought they're going to do a sign and trade. We're going to get like a trade exception, which we'll then use. So go for it.
I love everything we've done. There isn't a player on this roster that I'm not happy with. I love the nostalgia of seeing Melo finally after shunning us a couple of seasons ago. We thought we were going to get him. Joining up with LeBron, I think everybody's going to know their role. I think there's going to be singular focus, and I think there's going to be sacrifices made across the board to the point where I think that it's going to be very clear that if healthy, this is AD's team, and everyone's going to play their role to get us to where we need to be. And I think Kendrick Nunn's going to give us the spark on the second unit that we just didn't get from Kuzma, and it wasn't his fault, but it was just consistency and his role. And I'm so happy for him, and it's bittersweet to have seen him go, but as we've seen Randall flourish in New Orleans and now in New York, and as we've seen with all the other guys that we've drafted, from Clarkson, from Zubac to Ingram to Ball, I think this is just going to be a great opportunity for him, and he'll be a Laker for life, and now Caruso as well. But they've all just given way for the pieces that we need. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but goodness me, this is a championship winning roster.
I mean, look, to people questioning, I suppose, the age, and obviously there was like injuries last year for the Lakers. I think the answer to that is the surplus of talent on the roster should be more than enough to help carry the load. And essentially, you're talking about an upgrade from Schroeder to fucking Westbrook alone.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there's still going to be nights where they're going to look fucking terrible from behind the arc, but there's also pieces in place now to kind of counter that as well. So,
and I mean, come on, from a conditioning point of view, and there are 28-year-olds, 25-year-olds in the league who'd swap for LeBron's body, physique, and stamina. Like, don't give me that shit. Like these guys look after themselves. These guys are born ready.
I'm not saying things can't go wrong, but I'm not saying that's going to happen either.
Of course.
They're going to put themselves in a position to get plenty of rest.
Oh, dude, across the board, if by the end of this season you're going to look back at their average minutes, they're all going to be down.
What do you reckon the minutes going to be, like 30 minutes? 28 minutes?
Oh, I'd love to see up until the pointy end of the season, LeBron playing 32. I'd love it.
32 is a good number. And like what you said, Wayne, that was the other thing I thought of. You know, when LeBron went down, we just didn't have that guy to come in and help out and score and take up the slack. But now we've got, you know, if he gets, say, let's touch wood, it doesn't happen, but if some dickhead falls on his ankle again, he can take the full allotment to get it right and come back pain free, because Westbrook is there, Davis is there, you got Nunn there, you got Monk there, there's Melo's there, Ariza's there. You got guys who can chip in now, and that's what we missed last year. And then the 3-point shooting, we've got 3-point shooters there, but we won the last title not relying on 3-point shoot. I know Rondo shot the lights out. We were bigger than everyone.
That's my only concern. We do need to we need one more person. I was really wanting McGee to come, and I'm really glad that he went and got his money and got his deal. And
you know who?
We do need one more guy.
I got your guy.
You got a guy?
And I reckon he's just in that time of his career to be willing to. I mean, he's not going to help your age difference or anything, but he's a sharpshooter. It's JJ Redick.
No, we need a centre. We need a centre. Yeah,
I want a body.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got enough guards. Yeah. I don't know. Bring back Cousins. Take him.
Mate, or the prodigal son, the initials. Bring in LA. We'll take Aldridge. I know Vince probably won't, but I will.
No, I don't. You have got major shares in these Lamarcus.
I do. I really, you know that. I like LA.
You do.
Anyway, we move on.
But yes, if there was if we were doing the old slam dunk rating, this is a Vince over Freddie Weiss in the 2000 Olympics.
Yeah. Well, look, I think I said on the Facebook page the other day that I think it's the Lakers' title to lose at this stage.
Well, you can keep it lit on it, mate.
Yeah, all right. Well, don't put that in the podcast. Thanks.
Well, we talked about the big moves that the Lakers made. Another team making some fairly decent moves themselves, maybe not to the same stature, but the Miami Heat guys bringing in from a sign and trade Dragic. They bring in Kyle Lowry. Jimmy Butler gets his max extension. Finally, God, put him to rest. Duncan Robinson gets his 5-year extension. They bring in PJ Tucker from Milwaukee on a 2-year deal. Victor Oladipo has planned a return to Miami. He announced today they snuck away Markieff Morris. And did I read correctly that Dwayne Dedmon is making a comeback?
You did.
Wow. All kinds of wow.
All solid moves. Very, very. Probably Larry's a bit more than solid. But again, I'm not a huge fan of signing 35-year-old point guards.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
I feel like Tyler Hero's time's coming to an end in Miami.
Why is that?
I just feel like they've lost a bit of faith in him. Not a great season from him last year. Obviously, like his rookie year and what he did in the bubble was fantastic. But I think it comes back to a bit to what you've been saying over the last couple of shows, Vince, is that you can't just quit on these young kids. And I hope that's the case. But also knowing Pat Riley, and he'd be prepared to wrap him up for a bigger piece coming in.
You know what Riley's like. I'm sure he's. I'm sure he really likes him. But yeah, he probably would package him. But at the moment, I don't think they've lost faith in him. I think he might have had just something going on. It was a short off season too, and he had a bit of a workload for a rookie. So I wouldn't lose faith just yet. But they're going to be around the mark. Miami, they're well coached, well run, and they've added a fair bit of talent. And I reckon Markieff Morris is a pretty underrated signing. I'll absolutely spew on he left. Yeah, they'll be thereabouts.
Yeah, they should be. Honestly, they should be Eastern Conference title contenders. They really should. You look at them on paper. You look at what they've got, the retention, the chemistry that they've got, and they've added some good pieces. Yeah, they should definitely be a contender.
Do you think this squad is better than Milwaukee?
I don't know. Look, you do have to remember, and not to take anything away from anybody, you got to play the teams in front of you. And look, Miami benefited a great deal the season before when they were NBA finalists, but Milwaukee did have a dream run to the NBA finals in terms of their, oppositions and things like that. And again, luck plays a big part in them. Not to take anything away from them, but I think if you look at the rosters and you look. I don't know, if you had to pick the 10, if they played each other in a series and you had to pick the top 10 players of both teams combined, I think Miami have more of the top 10 players.
Like to some extent, they're certainly stacked, and I find it funny every time we're at the Olympics, those players that come back, they just seem to have an extra gear through the season. Like, I don't know if it's just whether, so I'm interested to see like how Bam plays next season, if he makes another leap and things like that. So yeah, I forgot to mention that at the top of the show. It's like, don't forget about these Olympic guys, because I've definitely noted over the years when these guys come off their Olympic tours, they just seem to be, just really do seem to have made a jump,
100%. It's a thing. Without a doubt, that's a thing.
Well, I mentioned them, the Milwaukee Bucks. Bobby Portis takes a bit of a pay cut, stays in Milwaukee on a 2-year deal. Thought that was pretty cool and a smart move by him, to be honest. Not a lot really happened. I know they brought in someone from Boston, but the name escapes me. Was it
Semi Ojeleye?
Yeah, they brought in him. I like him, man. He could be a real nice piece.
You're about the only one.
I think PJ Tucker, losing him kind of sucks. I feel like they should really try and run it back as much as they could. There is word that George Hill potentially could be going back to Milwaukee as well. But
He just signed a 2-year deal with them.
he did sign? Okay, cool.
Yep.
And they lost. Forbes has taken his championship and gone back to San Antonio. Pick up some of those Paddy Mills minutes.
They're just lining up to play with Thaddeus Young, aren't
They are lining up.
they? Just running it back with the majority of the squad, man. As much as I don't like him, it's good they brought Bobby Portis back. He was one of the reasons why they won. Just run it back. They're going to get guys off the waiver wire when that happens. They're going to, if they're winning a lot of games, they're going to get guys that want to play for them that have been waived. That's where they're going to pick up players.
My thing with them is don't be Dallas. Don't blow the championship team up. And because you've got Giannis, he's got his first title. Like, he's hungry. He's in his prime. Like, feed him. Feed the beast.
Yep. 100%.
And look, they're going to have DiVincenzo back from injury as well, and he was playing really, really, really good for them, and he'll be back from injury, so that adds a dimension that they didn't have, and they won a championship without him. So, and I'm not acting like he's a bloody saviour, but he was playing really good ball. They've retained Connaughton, they've got Portis. Yeah, they lost Tucker, but again, his minutes will get eaten back up again by DiVincenzo as he gets back into the roster. Again, we'll see that dynamic of how Holiday and Middleton come back off the Olympic run. Yeah, it's look, they're still, as far as I'm concerned, I know Brooklyn are, on paper, they're hard to ignore, but I still think the East is the Bucks to lose because the Nets haven't put it together for long enough in a season to make me believe otherwise.
Yeah, and I mean, if Milwaukee do have a roster spot available, like Ursan Ilyasova, we can easily step in. So
he can do his 8th tour. Yeah.
Sorry, one goal.
I'll tell you what, it'll happen. You watch.
Yeah. Give me Oh, man. The Facebook pages for this squad have been just fucking livid, to say it politely. Like, that's the politest I can put it, because they are livid. Nothing's happening. And, of course, I'm talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves. Man. I will say this. I think the only move I can think of was that Taurean Prince from Cleveland.
Yeah, good pickup, man.
I think Taurean Prince.
Yeah. So that's not bad, like in the scheme of things. I will say this.
Okay, was that free agent or was that a trade?
I think that was via trade, and maybe
that was the Rubio trade.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I don't mind that.
I will say this. I think someone listens to our show.
Is it, what's his name? Gersan Roseth?
No, because Karl Anthony Towns, not so flabby.
Really?
Yeah, he's been hitting the boxing gloves and the boxing bag with the boxing gloves. So he worked that out. It was nice.
Yeah. Shouldn't he wear those? Anyway.
Yeah. But look, I obviously follow the NBA players on Instagram and whatnot, and he's been posting some of his workouts. Look, it's good to see him take some notes from our show and lose some of the baby fat and get serious about Minnesota.
Yeah, that's great. Now he needs to get that leadership and start talking championships in Minnesota. It's been way too long.
It has. Between Towns, Russell, and Edwards, they've got a great core. They do.
Russell's the wrong point guard for them.
I agree.
I
do agree. I do agree, but I do love D'Lo, and I just think that talent alone. I know he plays in third gear all the time, and but just talent alone, that's a great young trio. It just is.
It is. Oh yeah, you're right.
I think the right coach in place. I think still really highly rate Malik Beasley.
I love Malik Beasley. I would take him in a heartbeat.
I wanted to be in Memphis.
Yeah.
I've been down there for so long. And, I mean, Edwards is just, man, even if Edwards makes a 10% jump next season, that kid is phenomenal.
He just turned 20, today or yesterday. 20.
Give me a spell.
Don't lose that kid. Oh, my God. I worry for that franchise, man.
I'm waiting for Culver to get traded and to blow up, by the way.
Yeah, he just doesn't fit in Minnesota, does he?
He doesn't. But I reckon you move to another team, and here's my thing. Oh, no, I'm not going to get into it. It's Minnesota. We'll talk about them later. Let's move on.
Okay.
Because we're going to get into this a little bit. New Orleans Pelicans, guys.
Yeah.
Although I do like the Devontae Graham trade from the Hornets. I think it's a great opportunity for him to get some numbers. I'm not sure that move is going to make your franchise player happy. They also, in the Chicago trade for Lonzo Ball, they bring in
Satoransky and Temple.
Thank you for the save. I think Diddy got his 4-year deal there as well.
Does anyone else say Satoransky like they're Dracula?
Satoransky.
Yeah. Is that just me? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Satoransky.
Satoransky here to bounce. All right, so here's the thing. We did talk about this last week. It didn't make the show, but I've said over the past couple of weeks, months even, that I really doubt David Griffin and his ability to build a squad. I don't know what they're doing. I don't even know who's running the point guard position out there. How you don't see the clear connection between Zion and Lonzo, and fair enough if Lonzo had just been sucking out there, but the fact that he'd made such a big improvement to his outside shot, his court vision is obviously phenomenal. It's actually ridiculous. It's actually a bit of a slap in the face, and I'm not surprised that Ball wanted to bounce out of there. I'm sure he loved playing with Zion, and that wasn't the factor, but what the hell is this guy doing?
When your two cornerstones of your franchise have told you, the GM, and they've also said it to the media and publicly that we love playing with Lonzo Ball, we love Lonzo Ball, you fucking keep him. You do everything you can to keep him, right?
So dumb.
Zion Williamson, enjoy him while you've got him, Pelicans fans, because he's going. What move has he done? And I think Griffin's ego from winning a title has just got the better of him at the minute. Needs to really pull his head in. What move has he pulled off where Zion's going, I can see where you're going with this?
Yeah.
There isn't a move.
And Vince, Zion's already had 2 coaches now. He's on his 3rd coach. That was his 2nd year?
And just quietly, he could have 4 in the next year because Willie Green's unproven. There's so many better candidates than Willie Green.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Wayne. I think Griffin's losing it.
Stu.
Yep. Oh, everything you guys have said, it's just absolutely head-scratching. You've got a once-in-a-generation talent with a point guard that he and everybody else on that squad love, and Brandon Ingram. And again, we just spoke about the Timberwolves, right? And the money made sense. It wasn't an absurd contract. It wasn't anything they couldn't do within the cap with still giving them flexibility to make other moves. It's just a dumb fucking move. It doesn't matter how you look at it. It just is. It's just, how do you not retain Lonzo Ball?
I literally cannot tell you who the point guard is because I don't think they have a point guard out there at the moment.
Well, Devontae Graham's a point guard size, but he's more of a shooting guard.
Yeah, he's more of a 2.
Don't give him the point. That's not.
So who are they going to run? Satoransky?
It's ridiculous, man.
Don't get me wrong. Satoransky and Graham are both great 2 guards, but they're not Lonzo Ball. That's a cornerstone point guard to pair with a cornerstone combo forward. That just doesn't land in your lap.
Yeah.
And they loved playing with each other.
Yeah. 2 things. How long before Ingram decides that, this is a mistake?
He's too chilled. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're right. The biggest problem I actually have now is not even Zion. It's Zion's family are all in his ear about you need to get the hell out of there. We spoke earlier in the show about wasting young talent and you need to build around them. He's failed to do that.
Well, you know what the problem was? He actually, I think Griffin thought, or he gambled, that they were going to get Larry. But even then, dude, you're getting rid of a 22-year-old point guard that's the same age bracket as your superstar.
Did you not
35-year-old?
Sorry, did you not see who they went after? Chris Paul. They made pictures of.
That was dumb too because he's never going to leave there.
He just come off the finals, idiots.
But again, not in the same age bracket as your superstar.
Yeah, 100%.
And I don't mind the addition of JV. But it's not enough to keep Zion happy.
I don't know. Imagine if they had an opportunity to get somebody Kobe White.
Yeah, imagine that. Look, Lonzo's gone. Because, again, Zion actually might have looked at it and went, well, I'm getting scoring, I'm getting playmaking. That's good.
And if Lonzo's going to go to Chicago anyway.
Yeah. It's
ridiculous.
Yeah, he's really shit the bed, and it's going to cost him Zion before they know it.
Look, let's jump into a team that has not shit the bed and actually, I think, improved on what their squad was last year. What a turnaround for the New York Knicks. Word is Walker is on his way to New York after his buyout with OKC. They bring in Fournier. I can't say it, Vince. Can't say it.
Come on, give another go. Give another go.
Oh,
They bring him in on a 4-year deal. Boston couldn't keep up with his demands. Good to see D Rose on a 3-year deal coming back. Good to see Nerlens Noel. Man, he has been playing great. I hope he keeps that now he got his contract.
Steady on.
Alex Burke, a great for him.
They're going to miss Reggie Bullock.
Great compared to where he's been in previous seasons. How about that?
True.
Alex Burks back on a 3-year deal, also played pretty well last season.
That's a good signing.
Man, it's good to be an ex-Chicago Bull when Thibs has got you back, because Taj Gibson is back for a year as well.
Of course he is. Overpaid for Derrick Rose, big time.
Overpaid for Taj.
What did they give Taj? $1 million?
I don't know, but whatever he paid. So.
Whatever it was
Taj was good.
Taj is good.
He's aging a bit, though.
Yeah, this has got to be it, right?
How come no one complains about his age? Just wondering.
Because he's not that old, is he?
He's like 36, 37. He's going on.
Is he? I thought he was like 34, 35.
Nah, he's older than. Well, it could be.
Okay.
He's old. Yeah,
big squad, man.
I don't know if Rose has got 3 years left in him, so that's why I wouldn't have paid him 43. But really happy for Julius Randle. I know he had a poor playoffs, but don't worry about that. Big Jules, he'll come back bigger and better than ever. I like the gamble on Kemba. If that knee is right, they've got a ripper. It's exactly what they need. It's worth it. It's low risk, high reward with him.
100%.
Yeah, I love Kemba. And they've still got pieces. I mean, that we wait and hope, but they've still got Knox. They've still got Toppin. They've got Barrett. They've got great young pieces. They've got great tested pieces. They've got a good coach. They had a bit of a rough time in the playoffs. Obviously, all in lights for Randall, and it just didn't come together. But take that out of the equation, a very good season for them, and they've brought back all the pieces they need to. Good off season, genuinely very good off season. And to our Knicks faithful, should have another positive and another 50-win season.
I just hope they go a bit deeper in the playoffs. It was fun having Knicks back in the playoffs and hearing that crowd. And I'm sure the people in New York, they've suffered a lot the past.
Can they play Obi Toppin a bit more, please?
I want them to play Toppin. I really like him.
I like that kid, yeah. Far out. I mean, look, they're not quite as bad as the New Orleans Pelicans, but geez, sometimes I question their direction. Oklahoma City Thunder.
I don't know what's going on there. Seriously.
Guy gets his max deal. They obviously draft Josh Giddey at pick 6. They make a trade for Derek Favors from Utah, and Mike Muscala gets a deal.
Maybe. Former Laker legend.
So,
can't shoot.
I was saying to you the other day when you were off, Vince, that I just don't see any direction from these guys other than them trying to collect picks.
It's weird, right?
It's the Presty way, mate. He'll collect picks. He'll collect talent. As soon as the superstar's disgruntled, hey, I've got this.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's definitely waiting, and my goodness, does he have some picks? Giddey is a very much if you're looking at prototypes, and if you were to project what he could be in the NBA, I honestly, God, before I even knew that he was in consideration for them as a draft pick, I thought his ceiling was like a Gilgeous Alexander type player, and now they're on the same team.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Honestly, it's the weirdest thing because my ceiling for him was he could be like SGA. He's got the height. He plays very similarly, and now they're fucking on the same team. I just think it's a weird draft, a weird pick.
I'm not even confident they want Shai there, for that the extent of that contract.
Maybe they can trade him for 10 draft picks.
Dude, he's because I don't know, is he their franchise guy? They don't have one, right?
He's not. He's probably not that at that level, but he's only still pretty young, and he's very bloody good.
He's had some great games. Don't get me wrong, I love the kid, but I'm just is that your plan?
Yeah, I don't know what their plan is. I don't know, but their draft status is assured for the next 10 seasons. They know that.
I mean, just look at all the players, like the decent players they've gone through. I mean, Kemba didn't even touch down, really. They've had Horford there. They've had Westbrook and KD, like Harden. But, like, since then, it's kind of like, I don't know what they're trying to build out there. It's been a while now.
Well, he's put it right back to, to the foundations, and he's building up again. And like Stu said, stockpiling the picks. I think Giddy's going to be he's tucked away in OKC. He can play without pressure. There's no pressure to win there. They're going to let him. Well, hopefully they let him make mistakes.
I like that. I hope that happens.
Yeah, just don't bury him. The kid can play. He's got question marks on his shot, but he can do everything else.
Yeah. I think if we saw anything this season from them last season, it's that they're willing to give guys court time that probably wouldn't get it on other squads, and that allowed to see people emerge like players like Lou Dort and things like that. Players that they would have been very minuscule role players, and I think because they don't have an aspiration to make the playoffs, lo and behold, obviously Chris Paul took them there the season before. But I think that it is a good opportunity for Giddy because I don't think there's going to be that bright light pressure, and it's a small market team, so I do think it was probably a blessing in disguise. Even though I do think he plays the same role as SGA, but look, you could get worse mentors. That guy's a gun.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't need to be the main ball handler either. So
no,
right, the pressure is all off him really. So
yeah,
hopefully that's enough with the training, with the seasons to progress.
But it's a football town, so they'll
Speaking about trouble progressing, the Orlando Magic guys. Not a lot of moves from them. I think they just need some health. We have spoken about them in the past, and they're a bit unlucky last year. But Robin Lopez signs a 1-year deal with them. They've got
we're talking banners.
Yeah, they got the Wagner brothers out there. So they got Mo Wagner, drafted friends. And they, with the number 5 pick, they took Jalen Suggs, which I thought was a little bit too high.
Oh, really? I've heard good. I don't know much about him, but from what I've read and heard from people who are supposedly in the know, he's pretty good.
He's good. He had a good college career, a semi-decent run last season, but I don't think he's Cole Anthony, and I don't think he's...
Well, you'd think he'd be better than Cole Anthony, wouldn't you?
I don't think he's a fault. Oh, I don't think so.
No. Okay.
I don't think he's better than Fultz, so I'm just a bit...
I'd cut my losses with Fultz.
No, I thought he just got injured. I thought he was having a real turnaround last year.
Yeah, no, I there's something about Fultz just doesn't sit right with me at the moment. I don't know. I just cut my losses. I just think you've got Cole Anthony, you've got Suggs. That's my backcourt for now. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, another team that's in this youth movement. I mean, they clear out Fournier, they clear out Vooch. It's time for the young guys to get some minutes and get some court time and hopefully stay healthy, as we saw like with Jonathan Isaacs and some just injuries that you don't want to see for a young guy coming back from injuries, let alone hurting himself again. Yeah, good young core. Goodness me, are they even a chance at an 8th seed? Probably not.
No.
Whew. All right, let's move to Jesus Christ. Philadelphia 76ers. They bring back Denny Green on a 2-year deal, a questionable Andre Drummond move for a 1-year deal. The Ben situation is a bit out of control, as much as remorse I kind of had towards him for not putting on the green and gold for this Olympics, which I think was a very bad decision, which we've all spoke about on previous shows. I think it is more than a mistake to even bring him back. Like, you've got to move him now because he's cut off all communication with the team, which was backed up again today, even though they rebuted it the first time. But he's not even answering Embiid's calls, and I think it's just a matter of time before he's moved. I don't think he has much say in where he goes, but they're saying Toronto, Portland, Golden State. Thoughts?
First of all, if I'm running Philly, I'll send him a text, I'll send him an email, I'll send him smoke signals, whatever the hell. I'm not trading you, and I wouldn't be trading him. You don't turn up to training camp, don't play. That's fine. You're not going to get anything that is going to help you win a title by trading Ben Simmons. His stock has dropped. He just had a bad couple of series. Do not trade this man. They're just shooting themselves in the foot. You drafted him number one for a reason.
Yeah.
If Embiid's calling him, Embiid wants him back. It's that simple. That's why he's calling him.
Even if they wanted to, this offseason, right now, this is not the trade market to be shopping Ben Simmons. You're going to get fuck all back. There's nothing out there right now. Yeah.
Just stand pat. The Rockets did it in the 90s. Hakeem wanted out. We're not trading now. Jerry West did it with Kobe. They nearly traded, but Jerry West, they had the deals, but Jerry West wouldn't sign off. Jerry Buss wouldn't sign off on it.
Yeah.
Just hold your ground. And if he's going to play, he's not going to sit out. Look at in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers. I want to be traded. Get me out of here. I'm not staying anymore. I hate it here. They're like, we're not trading you. And guess what? He turned up to training camp. Sometimes you've just got to not pull the trigger.
There's just not a lot that they can get for him, and I think teams are starting to think now that Philly are going to get desperate, and I don't think Philly are that silly. They're not going to let him go for 50 cents of the dollar, and that's currently what they're being offered, and it's not going to happen. He's going to be playing for Philadelphia, and whether or not we think that's the right thing to do is another thing. But they've left the run too late. The free agent market's already started with a bang, and there's just nothing out there for him at the moment.
Here's my counter to all that. I agree with everything you said, but here's my sort of counter to all that is that he's a sourpuss. And if you bring back to the team, he's going to pout. I mean, look, who knows how long that lasts for. I think he's definitely got his nose out of joint. As far as like us fans, if he comes back and doesn't have a jump shot, we're all going to be fucking ticked.
Yeah.
And if they trade him and he comes back and he does have a jump shot, Philly are going to look silly.
That's the thing, right? And I don't think you're right. You're exactly right. But fuck it, the big what if with Ben Simmons is what if he comes back and he is 25, 10, and 10, and of that 25, 12 of them are all of a sudden outside of 18 foot? Because we saw it at LSU. Before they changed him into a run-and-gun center and he stopped shooting, we know that he can do it. And I think that's what Philly have to think of. Do we let go? Do we look back in a couple of years' time and realize how fucking stupid are we? We had him and we let him go.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're 100% right. That's the gamble.
Yeah. It's interesting. I just think I actually think if you're Philly, you have to trade him now. Like you have to. You need to make the biggest push for Damian Lillard and use him as the bait.
But for you, it comes back down to this sourpuss, this attitude, and this toxicity. Is that what you need to cut ties off?
I think so. I think that's what you get. Because I think that's what's been proven to us. Really,
that's fine.
You're not getting Dame. You're not getting Dame.
Dude, we're going to get to Portland, and I'll tell you exactly why that is a possibility. I think the Lions are on a war with that. I mean, look, let's quickly jump from Philly. Go to Phoenix. They bring back Chris Paul on a 4-year deal. Cameron Payne gets paid on a 3-year deal, as Stu predicted, and you predicted a couple of shows ago, Vince, signed JaVale McGee to a 1-year deal.
Yeah, perfect signing for them.
Like we touched on, I think the Torrey Craig, letting him go, is a bit of a mistake, but I also think they can probably pick up someone like him.
I have a weird feeling, like a weird no evidence or proof whatsoever that they'd go after someone like a JJ Redick.
That could happen.
Mm-hmm. He'd fit.
Played with Chris Paul before as well.
Yep. I just
enticing to JJ because they just come off a finals run.
Yeah, he'd fit for sure.
Yep. Are they bringing back Frank the Tank?
Yeah, signed a 1-year deal.
Oh, he did. Okay, right.
Yep. Cool.
Just got that.
All right. And maybe towards the tail end of the season they get Saric back. So yeah, I'm same as to an extent. Same as Milwaukee. Run it back.
Yeah.
Yep. Youngsters are going to improve. They're young enough. They're improving every year. Aiden Bridges said it a couple of weeks ago. That's where improvement's going to come from.
And now they've got that experience, so it's beautiful.
Yeah, and McGee's a great teammate. He just wants the best for his teammates, and he'll help out DeAndre Ayton as well.
I'm spewing we didn't get him back, but yeah, he's a great teammate.
He was perfect to get back.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into the Portland Trailblazers. Obviously, there's been a lot said about Damian Lillard leaving Portland, and I don't think it's all BS, and I don't think it's all media. I think there's definitely some truth of it. Look at the squad they have. I mean, look at the squad. Like, seriously, like, as much as I love CJ, like, he's fucking injury prone, and he can be very spotty, but he can also drop like 40 or 45 on you. Like, he's very crafty. I love his game, but evidence is there. Like, he has been injury prone, and sometimes they don't ever seem to click at the same time. You know, it's either one or the other, which I always find really random. But the moves they did make is Norman Powell, I don't know why I said it like that. Yeah, I don't know. If you're re-edit. If you're looking for your roster to get better, you know, they signed Cody Zeller to a 1-year deal. They signed Tony Snell to a 1-year deal. The evidence is right in front of us, guys. All you need to do is look at the Summer League team. Beasley, Moutier, and Fareed are on that Summer League team. There is no future here. The writing is on the wall. Portland are I feel like this is some weird, like, game of chicken where no one wants to be the bad guy. Dame doesn't want to come out and say he wants to be traded, but Portland don't want to be the bad guys and trade their franchise guys away, even though the writing's on the wall. So they're creating a situation where he's basically got a worse team than last year, and he's got a bunch of scrubs around him now.
Yeah.
The guy who fucked Damian Lillard is Stu's boy, Lamarcus Aldridge.
Oh.
Dame can point at him and go, "You fucker, if you hadn't have left, we could have had deep..." Stu, he left to go to San Antonio to win titles. He joined an aging team. They never got close. If he'd stayed with Lillard, they could have attracted some players. He and Lillard would have played really well together. That's who stuffed Damian Lillard's time in Portland up. They never recovered from it. They tried. They got Melo in.
Such an Aldridge hater.
But he did, Stu. He left. Why did he leave? He went and joined an aging Spurs team when he had a dynamic.
They couldn't get out of the second round.
Dude, Lillard was just like a young player. He was getting better. Look how good he is now. Like, they could have had a really nice run. They could have gotten players who would have been attracted to actually come to Portland. That's who fucked Damian Lillard.
You've gone as far as you can go. Free agents aren't coming. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just time. It's just like, it's okay, Dame. Like, just go. Like, they don't have your best interests. Look at the squad around you. What's he going to do when he walks on the court?
He shouldn't have signed that extension. He really shouldn't have. And if he did, he should have said, "I'll sign a 2-year with a player option for another 2.
Yeah. Because
he could have went, you know what, my 2 years is up. It's been fun. I'm looking elsewhere.
Yep.
I mean, there's a real pattern to all this. If you guys have noticed, you know, everything's like 2-3 year deals. It's all short-term deals.
Yeah.
And that's the way the league's gone right now.
I still, yeah. If Aldridge hadn't have left, I mean, they had Aldridge, McCollum, and Lillard. It's not about 3.
Mm.
But
they didn't use any exemptions or anything, did they, to get Nurkic from?
Dude, they've done nothing. That's what I mean. Like, they've done nothing. Like, they've done. There's no evidence.
How did they get Nurk from? What did they give up to get Nurk?
It was a pick, wasn't it? Just picks.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking easy. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, because they just wanted to get rid of him to play Jokic more. They pretty much gave him away. Because I remember me and you were like, "Why didn't we trade for him? You could have got him."
No, I know. But you do think, and you think, hang on a second, Nurk at the 5, LA at the 4. You've got that guard combo. I mean, throw anybody else into the 3. I think at the time they had like Evan Turner or something. But I mean, but you're right. Yeah.
There was the core there. He left for God knows why you go to Spurs at that time. But yeah, that's who fucked him. I'm telling you.
Well, you know what, Vince, you know what? Karma got him, right?
Gee. Old P. Hard Aldridge.
All right. You jinxed him into a dicky heart.
That's right.
So, lesson to anybody listening: don't cross Germano.
That's right. You're right.
I'm just saying. Not hating, just saying.
5 teams to go, boys. Let's talk about the Sacramento Kings. Woo. Okay, Rashawn Holmes gets his 4-year deal. They bring in Alex Len on a 2-year deal. It's getting late. I'm getting blurry with the
No,
they picked up Len.
Len, yep.
He was good for Atlanta. Okay.
Maurice Harkless on a 2-year deal. Terrence Davis on a 2-year deal. I've been all over Davian Mitchell, their rookie.
Yep.
I think he's the goods. I'm surprised Buddy Hield is still there, and I hope Memphis don't trade for him.
I hope Memphis do. And can we please start the Save Marvin Bagley III? Please. This guy's a beast. I have bought that many shares in the Marvin Bagley talent. Oh, I love the kid. I think he's going to be
get Marvin Bagley to Dallas.
Oh, that's a good move.
That would be mint.
Oh,
Someone's got to get him out of there because he's a blue chipper just waiting to be unlocked. And I love Luke Walton, but Luke Walton's doing him dirty at the moment. Like,
reckon Luke could do Lakers a solid?
I don't think we can fit him in, can we? Who would they take?
I don't know.
Look, if Luke wants to save his job, and I think Luke is a decent coach, fucking run the thing through this kid. He will blow up. This kid will blow up. He's got that much talent. I wouldn't have paid Holmes. I would have just said, Bagley, you're the 5, whatever, 4, 5. Holmes, I'm not paying you 50. Put it that way.
Have they still got Barnes?
Yeah, but old Harry's still there.
Interesting.
A bit of a flat off season, really. You just still don't know what they're doing.
But there's pieces there because Bagley could explode. Halliburton's going to be really good.
Man, they're high on. Everybody is so high on that kid. If you jump on the forums or doesn't matter where you go, you will find a Halliburton thread, and they are high
He's
on
good,
him.
man. He's good.
He is good, but oh my goodness, like they're wow.
You got Fox. They're doing it. They're doing it wrong. How are you giving Holmes more touches than Bagley? It's beyond me.
Fox is so good, by the way.
I hope they figure it out and it doesn't get to a stage where he wants to go. Like, that's my thing with him. Like, he made such a good jump last year. Like, I don't know. I would hate to see it to come to that. Like, you want Sacramento to be good, but they just stunk for so long. And it's management, like, it seems to be clearly the case. But let's move on to a team that's, I suppose, really taken the youth movement now, forcibly, with Patty Mills on the move. San Antonio Spurs, guys. Strange signings from them, but hey, it's the Spurs, so I never really doubt them out. That's a thing.
There we go.
Yeah, Wayneism. They bring in Zach Collins on a 3-year deal. Dougie McDermott on a 3-year deal also. They bring back Bryn Forbes, who we spoke about earlier, Thaddeus Young, Vince's homeboy, and Jock Linder on the Blues.
Really happy for Jock. Look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Popovich did the Spurs a disservice by not trading for Ingram, Ball, Kuzma, and they're in the position they're in now. They're in a massive rebuild. I think Pop probably coaches one more year.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys that. What do you think?
Yeah. I don't see the Spurs contending again for a long time. Let's face it, they got lucky getting Tim Duncan because, Robinson had that mysterious foot injury that just went for a whole year. They got the number 1 pick. Yeah. They got lucky. Before that, they couldn't do a thing.
Yeah. Oh, look,
they used to win games, but they were never a contender.
Look, they've been very well managed. I mean, we've got a tip of the cap to R.C. Buford. I mean, they're very well run and they scout very, very well. But, yeah, they're 2 years behind on their rebuild because of their reluctance to trade Kawhi to the Lakers. And it's set them back. And they're now reaping, what they sowed. And it's a bit of a shame. because they've been floundering for, do we get the 8th seed? Do we not? Do we get the 8th for 2 seasons when they really should have already started that rebuild, and they could have done it with a really great young core, and now they're chasing their tail.
They've got some nice young pieces though.
They do, but they could have had Ingram. Like
I agree. Like,
I mean, do you want a Thaddeus Young, or do you want an Ingram who's giving you 25 a night?
Well, I mean, I like that Keldon Johnson.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
He's their power forward of the future.
Well, he's not really.
You don't reckon?
No, because he's like 6'5".
Is he? No,
yeah, he's pretty small.
He's undersized. He is undersized.
Really?
He's undersized.
I think he's like 6'7", isn't he?
He plays so much bigger than.
He does. You're right. Yeah, you're right. He does. But
wow.
I don't think he's going to. I mean, 3, yes, I'd play him at the 3 more often. But you're right. He plays bigger than he is, which would be an advantage at the 3, I guess.
They've freed up minutes. They let Rudy Gay go, so they've freed up minutes for him.
Yeah, Gay's gone to Utah.
Yes, he has. Not quite there yet, but let's talk Toronto Raptors. Goran Dragic, obviously via the Lowry trade. Gary Trent Jr. on a 3-year deal. Sam Decker making a return after playing.
Hey, he's back.
Yep. He's got his comeback, and they take Scottie Barnes, which is a little bit controversial on draft night at pick 4 in the draft, who I know nothing about. So we'll find out soon. Some thoughts?
Apparently, the word on Scottie Barnes, really good team guy, leader on the court, directs traffic really well. I reckon he's going to be. Well, a lot of scouts say that he's really good. Just needs to work on the shot a bit more.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're all saying. Yeah, a lot of the scouts are saying a good pick for a team like Toronto. Like, it was a fit pick. Like, it's not that any other team would have picked him that high, but it was just for a fit and for culture and for what they need going forward. Good pick for them. So let's see how he goes.
I'm a bit torn with Toronto. Like I'm still trying to decide if they're good or not.
No, they're not good.
They're not great. They're Eastern Conference good.
Yeah. I mean, they've still got Van Vliet, Siakam. So, I mean, they're going to win some games.
Siakam's been floated around a lot this offseason. There was a Ben Simmons rumor for Siakam as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Look, they're not. It's funny, they're one season removed from a championship essentially. But yeah, they're probably middle of they're playoff bound, but I can't see them performing.
Well, let's move to the Utah Jazz. We have Mike Conley coming back for another 3-year deal. Mike Conley might be the most paid man ever, I think. Wow.
Well, I'm excited. We're going to finally see a 50-year-old in the league.
Yeah. Obviously, you mentioned it, Vince, reunited with Rudy Gay from the Memphis days. So that's kind of cool for me alone. Questionable.
Mate, you're a Memphis fan. Get off the Utah bandwagon.
Yeah, I know, right? He's the enemy now. I forgot. And of course, strange Hassan Whiteside trade.
So weird.
Yeah.
And who else did they make a move for? Eric Pascal from Golden State as well, which is pretty cool. Donovan Mitchell's homeboy. Some thought on the Jazz?
I'd like the Pascal move. I like the Rudy Gay move. I'm happy to bring Conley back. I just thought they overpaid. The Whiteside thing, the only thing I could think of is when Rudy's on the bench, they've still got shot blocking and rebounding.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know why they'd sign him.
That's what it is.
Yeah, they're still a really good, well-coached side, so they'll be thereabouts again.
I just find that move, that trade weird, bringing him in, because essentially, like, Pascal, replaces Favors?
Yeah, but totally different style of power forward.
Yeah,
Pascal,
that's the point, though, right? Like, that's
Flash.
We saw in the playoffs, like, when you get deeper in the playoffs, it's harder for the big men to stay in the game.
Yeah, but that's where Pascal's going to help them, I think.
Well, that's what I mean. I just don't understand the Whiteside side of it, because it's like, well, if we already seen Rudy Gobert, not become useless, but
less effective.
Yeah, less effective and become almost a non-factor, then what are they going to get at Whiteside?
It's a good question, Wayne. You make a good argument. I'm not sure. Maybe it's
training time.
I don't know. I don't know. It's insurance, maybe, in case one of them gets hurt. I don't know. They got him cheap.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I think.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I think a few teams have looked at, I don't know, potentially how Milwaukee just decided to go big against Phoenix, and how the Lakers went big against Miami. And I don't know, a lot of commentators are loving the fact that some teams, when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, are able to go big. And I don't know, I just think that the option of having two legitimate 7-footers who can give you defense, and not saying that Whiteside's attitude is anything that's won him any favours throughout his career, but I do think he's I think he's an upgrade to Favors, and that's what you want to do in the offseason. You want to upgrade. And I think they did with him. I don't know how it's all going to work, but I like the acquisition of Gay. I like how he fits into that offense. They do love shooting threes. He loves shooting threes, and at his height, he's going to drag the 4s and 5s out of the key, which opens up things for Mitchell. I don't know. And again, they're just really well coached, so they'll work it out. I think it's a good offseason for them.
Okay. Interesting. Our final team, we're there, boys. We're there. The Washington Wizards. Wow, they had some moves to make. I'm surprised Beal's still there. I just don't know how long that sticks there. He seems very loyal to Washington, but, we're seeing a similar situation play out in Portland with Damian Lillard. But essentially, look, they bring in Spencer Dinwiddie, signed his deal today. Sorry, I think it was a 3-year deal, I want to say.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's pretty good money too. I think it was like 63 mil or something.
Yeah, Aaron Holiday. And look, I feel like they made a really good flip for Westbrook.
Me too, man. Kuz is going to surprise a lot of people.
Harrell, Cadwell Pope, and Kuzma. Like, that is, you've still got Harrell, right? Harrell.
Montrezl Harrell, yeah.
Harrell. Oh, yeah, Harrell.
Yeah.
I like this squad. I
do too.
It's purely like an underdog thing, I think. But I finally kind of like the direction they're heading in. And I think if you can get value, like you got value for Westbrook when you eventually do move Beal on, I think they'll have a pretty nice squad.
If they move him.
If they move him. And if they don't, they're still a pretty good squad.
Yeah.
From all reports, he really likes living in Washington, and he has not told them or given them a hint that he wants to be traded.
Right.
So
that's what I'm reading online.
Yeah. I like their roster, man. I really do. I don't know, like you said, Wayne, I don't know if it's an underdog thing or we want to root for them or what, or if it's just a collective of players that we all like as individuals and we want to see them flourish. But I don't know. I think I have to give them an A for the off season. Like they've done really good.
Who's coaching them now? I can't remember.
Where's Unseld Jr., isn't it?
Unseld Jr.
I hope he's got a good plan. I love the kid who played for Japan. He's just getting better and better.
Rui.
Oh, my goodness, man. I don't know if you guys caught any of their games. He's just like by far the best player on that team, as you would probably expect. Yeah. But, man, he has got some like untapped potential going on. And I think, watching the tail end of my dismay of that Wizards squad make the playoffs, just watching him play, I was really like, man, he has got some serious untapped potential. And the thing I like about him is he's like aggressive as well.
Yeah, he needs to harness that more. When he's got that, when somebody scores on him, he comes back down and really wants to go at him. And Kuzma's got that too. So I think they're going to be great in training together, and I think they're really going to push each other because Kuzma does that. Kuzma loves to go against somebody who just put a double on it.
Yeah.
But I think if Hachimura can harness that, and maybe he gets more touches now that Westbrook's gone, and maybe they bring him into his own. But yeah, if he can get some mongrel about him a little bit more consistently, he's going to be very good.
Yeah, I like their squad, man. I think they've got some real dogs and some real guys that can really, I think they'll really bond quite well together. I just don't know how I really feel about the Beal situation, but like we just said, I mean, if he stays, they're still a really good team. Do you
think he's staying, Vince?
Yeah, at the moment. Yeah, I do. Because everything I'm hearing is he's not going.
Yeah, I think if he's traded, it's totally just management freaking out. I don't think it would be his call.
I think he likes the roster too. It doesn't, when you hear the rumours of players wanting to go and you just it's true. This one, you don't get that feeling.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, there's no smoke, so therefore there's no fire.
Who are they playing at the 5?
It'll be Montrez, won't it?
You think they'll play Trez at the 5?
Well, Thomas Bryant's coming off that ACL. So
yes, that's it.
Yeah.
I knew there was somebody I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
He was playing well. He was playing really well.
He was. Yeah. I mean, there's a dude who just put in the work.
He's a Laker for life.
And loves playing the game.
Yep.
Just loves playing. But
yeah, he had a little bit of that old Andrew Bynum irrational confidence about him. I love it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Interesting.
I read something the other day. Andrew Bynum's still only 32.
What?
Yeah, he's not old. Yeah. His knees are
42. Yeah, his knees are 80. Yes. His knees went to high school with bloody Bill Russell. Yeah.
What could have been with him, man? What could have been?
Oh, can you believe it?
Yeah.
That season, his All-Star season, our second championship run season. My God, he just looked like it was going to be. He was the heir apparent to the Diesel throne.
Yep.
100%. Plenty more moves to come, I suppose. Still a lot of question marks, but gents, it's been real.
It's been lockdowny. But,
I think it was
looking
very, very tame of us during that Lakers segment.
Yeah, keeping a lid on it.
Yeah, but you know why? Because we'll talk about them heaps through next season. So
but we know. Look, one thing about the Lakers, they always go for the home run. They don't always connect, and that's always in the back of your head. Like in 2004, didn't connect. We swung, we missed.
I'm looking forward to seeing a team win 74 games. I never thought it would happen in my lifetime.
I'm just want to see the Boomers win on Saturday night.
Oh, man.
Please let us medal.
It'll be so good. They deserve it, man. This squad deserves a medal, right? Honestly.
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Ball